Like Norm Macdonald got mad about it.
Really?
He's like, yeah, there was no woman like that back then. There's no. It doesn't. Who give it? It's a fucking show, man. The Hulk's not real either. There's no guy who becomes the Hulk.
No,
Can you enjoy it?
I really like Norm Macdonald, but
I love him.
Yeah, but I didn't have. There was a. She was swearing like a soldier on stage. Very quickly.
Very quickly. What about Norm? Did you guys do anything with Norm?
I wish we could do something with Norm.
He's got a thing on Netflix.
Yeah, but he was in L.A. We were in New York. And
He's another dude.
He's so funny.
God damn, he's good.
I wish he would.
Yeah, Norm, there's nobody
If we
like
do
him
this
as a
again,
stand-up.
I'm not saying we will, but if we ever do this again, this bumping mics day, we should get Norm.
Did you see his tweets, his Thanksgiving tweets?
No. Once again, on my flip phone,
The one about Friends. I retweeted it. He's just so ridiculous, man. He's so funny.
There's something about Norm's just like his ability to, I have this thing about timing. I don't know what you think about it, but it was like, there's something about the timing that like, I know in today's world that like, people don't care about that. It's more about like identity and all that stuff. But like, Norm is a master of timing. Yeah. He really is like a master of like timing. And this whole thing that he's trying to do where he's finding these classic jokes. I love that.
No, he's genius. He's one of the
best.
There
is no one like him.
My first road gig ever was
unusual.
opening for Norm.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Your
probably
first road gig ever?
1991 maybe.
Amazing.
I'm at Catch Princeton. Somehow I talked my way into an MC spot, and Rich Voss was the middle, and Norm was the headliner.
Love Rich.
And Norm
Holy
was
shit.
only famous for doing a few late night shows. Whatever wasn't Letterman at the time. What was the other one? Was it Thick of the Night or something? Or
Bob Costas?
no, it was.
Remember?
It
He
was
had Later with Bob Costas?
It wasn't as cool as that even.
Bill Boggs?
It was some.
I'm going to keep you, yeah.
It was some show you'll remember in a few minutes, and you go, "Oh yeah, it was some late night show, like syndicated, whatever it was." But like, and I meet Norm, and he's Catch Princeton. He'd do 45 minutes every show. He either destroyed or he got 0 laughs for 45 minutes. And whenever he got 0 laughs, he would stand by the door and say goodbye to people as they left.
Oh, that's great.
And if he killed, he would go back up to the room with Voss and we would play poker. Like he was
hilarious.
so anti. And then while we were there, he got booked on Letterman for the first time, and I had a Jeep. My sister bought me a Jeep with the money she got from a car accident, and I drove Norm. The best. Hi, Robin. And I drove Norm to his Letterman taping, his first Letterman.
That's incredible.
It was cool. I learned a lot that week.
What a great guy to have. Is the first guy you opened for?
It was so funny.
That's amazing.
Todd Barry was so obsessed with Norm, he came out and slept in my bed.
It really comes down to like when you see like a Norm Macdonald, where he's like, okay, I haven't done anything to anybody wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to look with compassion on another human. I'm like, these are friends of mine, the people I know.
What do you be specific? What are you saying about Norm Macdonald?
Well, he said like Roseanne and Louis, and like they've lost everything in a day, and people don't really understand what it's like.
Right.
And I would like to see these friends, human beings, friends of mine, come out with the way. And he goes, honestly, I don't think Roseanne knew that lady was black. I don't think she makes that comment. And then people go, fuck you. Your Tonight Show appearance is canceled.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I didn't even do anything. Me and Norm
Right.
Macdonald didn't do anything. Instead of taking that opportunity to go, hey, let's hear him out. Maybe you can clarify what you mean.
Right.
Even say, no, I didn't mean it that way.
They deplatformed him.
They deplatformed because these women or people, I don't really know who they were, at the Tonight Show had their opportunity to fall on their sword, and they go, now we get to stand up for women's rights, and we get to stand up for racial rights.
Well, the way to stand up
instead
for it,
of going
though,
like,
is to
let's have
debate
him on. Exactly.
Yeah.
Have him on and say, have Jimmy Fallon go, what did you mean by that exactly? And then to clarify his position to now show, oh, I'm on your side, but people don't want that. They're more interested in punishment.
Yes.
And so now you're punishing people who are on your side so you can feel right. At the Comedy Cellar, a waitress was traveling to fucking work wearing her Comedy Cellar t-shirt after Louis came back. And somebody said, hey, headphones, take your headphones out. And she did. She goes, what? And they go, shame on you. To some waitress, who, by the way, is not in charge of him coming back. She might have
Was
actually...
it a guy or a girl that said shame on you?
Don't know, I think a woman. Not sure. But this waitress might have been like heavily against him coming back. But there's no research done. It's just like, I get my chance to show that I've stuck up for somebody. Instead of ruining some other woman's day who might be on your side.
Yeah, well, this is one of the
They
things
stuck a finger in Val's face after he came back from goes, fuck you, after they were leaving.
Val? Who's
Val's
Val?
one of the managers of the Cellar. And it's like, so here's a fellow woman who hasn't done anything wrong.
Right.
and you're cursing her out so you can feel like I've done something for the cause.
Yeah. Well, this is something that the left does.
I mean, did you see? You must have seen the Norm Macdonald
Yes.
bit. I mean, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's what he was. He knew he couldn't use the word retard, right? Because it's like that's going to get him in trouble. And so, I mean, it's hilarious. In
Explain
fact,
what happened.
Okay, so he was on Howard Stern show, wasn't he?
I think
so. So he was. I could have this wrong, but the gist of this is right. I believe he's on the Howard Stern show, and he was about to use the word retard. So okay, we'll walk this back. Now it's coming back to me. He was talking about his friend, the ordeal that Louis C.K. has gone through in this just massive exile experience, right? This massive social shunning, and he said he was describing it in a way where he then got accused that he cared more about what Louis C.K. was going through than the women who felt victimized by Louis C.K. And that was not his intention at all, apparently. And so when he went to clarify this, he was about to say, I mean, you'd have to be retarded to think that I cared more about Louis C.K.'s ordeal than the ordeal of these women who had, who felt like their careers got derailed, right? But as the word retarded was coming out of his mouth, he tried to course correct. And because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, he says, you'd have to have Down syndrome, right, which is worse, right? It's more specific, and it's what it's like. And then you got all these parents with Down syndrome who have kids with Down syndrome who are just, oh my God. And so now he showed up on The View, right, with this on this apology tour, and I mean that's just amazing video to see him on The View surrounded by these four women who know he's not a bad guy, right? Like they're throwing him lifeline after lifeline, and he's so beaten down, right? Yeah. And he's so walking on eggshells. And you got Whoopi Goldberg, trying to just pull him back, from the lions. And it should be. I mean, it should be so straightforward. Like, is it part of Norm's goal to cause pain for parents who have kids with mental disabilities, right? No, right? I mean, like you can look into this guy's eyes for 10 seconds and know that this is not the bigot you're worried about, right?
Of course,
and yet people just want him destroyed. I mean, I don't know if they still do, but it's like the moment, like it was, I think it was a real concern that his show would get canceled. I mean, like this was
it hasn't been picked up for a second season, and one of the things
maybe that's part of the problem.
It is part of the problem. He was devastated. I mean, I'm very good friends with Adam Egan. He's the guy that runs the Comedy Store. He's the talent director at the Comedy Store, and he's been on Norm's show. He was on He was like Norm's sidekick on a show. He's a very good friend with Norm.
Right.
And Norm really suffered from this in a way that he never suffered from anything in his career in terms of like his own personal feeling. Like he was devastated by the blowback and the reaction. And he wanted to come on my podcast and talk about it. But Netflix is like, get the fuck out of here. Netflix said, no press. Don't do anything. No press.
Okay, but so the fact that you can't talk your way out of it, that's the fucking disease.
Well, the problem is not that you can't talk your way out of it. The problem is that they wouldn't even let him attempt to talk your way out of it because I think they realize that Norm's a maniac. And Norm is a maniac in the best sense of the word. Yeah. He's one of my favorite comics. And he's hilarious. Fucking hilarious. But he's also completely crazy in the best way possible. Right. Norm and I randomly, in some strange way, were seated next to each other on two separate flights.
Oh, yeah?
Just randomly.
That's great.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like, Norm again? Like, this is crazy.
And
we had a great time just talking the entire flight. And we were talking about cigarette smoking. Like, I used to smoke. I'm so glad I quit. Fucking terrible for you, Yeah, I mean, it's just, but I just always wanted a cigarette, and then I'd be gambling. I want a cigarette, but I quit. Fuck cigarettes. Like, how long did you quit? And you're like, I haven't had a cigarette in years. I'm like, oh, that's great. We land at LAX. He goes right into a store and buys cigarettes. I go, what are you doing? He goes, all that talk of cigarettes. I just want one now. He was lighting.
And then it's about to go down. We're here to stay and run this town. Bring in the heat, bring in the energy. We're the queens of the festival, can't you see? We're the queens of the festival, here to rule the stage. Dropping beats and make your body engage. From sunrise to sunset, we're taking it all. The festival queen standing tall. Ooh, yeah, ooh. From dawn till dusk, we command the crowd's gaze. Every beat, every rhyme sets our souls ablaze. With swagger and style, we own this domain. In the realm of music, we reign supreme, no chain. Feel the rhythm pulsating through your veins. Our verses ignite fire, never wane. With each lyric we spit, each move we make, we carve our legacy, leaving jaws to quake. We're the queens of the festival, here to rule the stage. Dropping beats and make your body engage. From sunrise to sunset, we're taking it all. We're the festival queens standing tall. Ooh, I get it. Ooh. No crown needed, our awe's the crown jewel in the kingdom of sound. We never play the fool with beats as our scepters and rhymes as our decree. We're the sovereigns of rhythm for all to see. So bow down to the queens as we own the night. In the kingdom of music, we're the guiding light. From the first note to the last, we'll always be the festival queens, forever wild and free.
It on the way
my
out
God.
the door. He couldn't get out the door. He lit it before the automatic door. He was before it was opening. He was lighting that cigarette. I was like, you're crazy. But that's many comedians are incredibly impulsive, and this is Norm. I mean, he just.
Well, he's got he's so off kilter. He's got a sort of Gary Shandling, like you don't know what's going to come out of his mouth extemporaneously.